Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Matt
and
Ruben
from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, sponsoring Friday.
Officially.
Yeah.
Unreal. We've been going for a while on Friday. We need to get hats or T-shirts made up. It's serious business. I don't know of any other bullion dealers that sponsor a day.
Yeah.
We're not broadening to other days. We're not taking over the whole week.
No other days are worth it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants us to sponsor a Monday.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the blame for that.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, we take the feel-good day only.
Yeah.
Ozguy, Black Friday special. That's a point. If we're sponsoring Friday, does that impact Black Friday at all? You know, do we?
If anyone runs a special, we should get a kickback.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I like
Taking the Gene Simmons avenue.
I don't really like this Black Friday. I mean, I used to like Black Friday, but it's now turned into like Black November. It runs.
It's funny you say that. I saw a music shop, Billy
So many,
Hyde's or something, said it's Black November.
Yeah,
It's just, you know.
Pre Black Friday sales. Yeah,
It's
they've been
getting out of
putting it
hand.
for a while.
It's like, hot cross buns in, Boxing Day. It's it's getting ridiculous.
People
Well,
love
yes.
a deal, Michael. What can we say?
We will
Despite
definitely
Michael's ranting.
we will definitely probably have Black Friday specials. How's that for a commitment?
There you go. Definitely, probably. You heard
Definitely,
it here first.
probably.
There's always something.
Yeah.
Everyone takes their sip of water at the same time.
I was just saying before we came online that I'd had something very salty for lunch, and it's breaking me. I'm going to be drinking water like a fish through this one.
Yeah, you're going to be drinking water like Matt.
Yeah, that's right.
Non-stop.
See if I've got the bladder to match her.
What a week.
We're here after Diwali. That was last week.
Yeah, made it.
We're still alive.
We're still alive. Yep.
Yeah.
Whoever designed Diwali and Lunar Release Day in the same week
and a
public holiday,
Yep.
far out.
Unreal. Keeps you on your toes. Followed up quickly by Black Friday as well.
Well, that's not till next week. I can cope with that.
Yeah, then it's going to be Christmas.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment around
Never
here.
a dull moment.
Jeez.
We're already planning for Easter.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, can't wait.
How was Diwali, Michael? How do we compare it to previous years? Compare it to what people bought, all that kind of stuff.
Look, I love Diwali. I think it's actually one of my favourite times of the year, and not just because I'm a bullion dealer, but the colour and the happiness in it, and the celebration, and I think I mentioned the food once before.
I thought we were going to see some. Did
You missed
see
out.
some? Oh, unreal.
So I missed out as well. I turned up and went, what's the game?
What's this empty box?
Yeah,
There was
sorry.
like 3 pieces left in it. So we wasn't happy about that. But
Next year, live on the stream, we're going to do a taste test.
No, fair enough. So it's it was I would have said it was a quieter Diwali than normal. It was still busy, don't get me wrong. We were still running around. But Diwali itself, there was less, I'd say there was slightly less people in the CBD anyway. Certainly in the store. And they were buying smaller items. So instead of buying the ounce bar, they'd be buying, the 20 grammer or, that sort of thing. Everyone kind of seemed to step down one stage this year. It was really interesting. But it was still a lot of fun. It was still busy. It was still a lot of fun and a lot of really friendly people. I do love Diwali. It's a favourite time.
Do you think the reduction in size, because my understanding is it's predominantly for gift giving, it's not people buying for investment, is it?
It's both.
Okay, because and this is, the minimal understanding. I thought a lot of it was purchasing gold for gifts. So I was wondering if it's possibly a bit of a reflection of the current state of the cost of living and all that sort of jazz that's forced people to perhaps reassess how much they're able to outlay.
So it's not just giving it away; it's also buying it for yourself, for the family.
Yep.
And having it blessed in the temple. I think you're right. I think it's a combination of the fact that everything's gone up and there's a lot less available cash out there. So it's a case of, we still want to do it, but we can't afford what we did last year or previous years.
Yeah.
With the increase in price and everything. So we'll cut back the size a little bit. So but it was certainly a great celebration again.
Oh, very good.
And that busyness has kind of flown into this week as well. It has been a little bit busy. Potentially, people may have noticed by the absence of some videos on the channel. I've been dragged into the shop a lot this week. And you've been busy as well, Michael. And so being able to even just drag you aside to film something with you has been quite difficult.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a busy week. Any particular reason why? Can you pinpoint, or just this time of year, people?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. People are starting to get out and move again. I think there's a lot more awareness of bullion. There's people taking advantage of the price, because the price has bounced around quite a bit just lately. So it drops a bit. People are stocking up, goes up a bit. People are getting it before it goes too much higher. We're not seeing heaps of buybacks. I'd say the buybacks are tapering off quite a lot, but we are still getting a few buybacks. I'm getting more. I don't know if you guys have noticed this in the shop at all. I'm getting more swaps. Like I had one just before I came on stream where someone they'd gone to our webpage, they'd bought gold, and then they came in with their silver to sell it to pay for the gold that they'd bought.
Bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, so there's more than normal.
Yeah,
I've been seeing that in the last couple of weeks, so which is quite interesting.
And predominantly converting from silver to gold, or have you seen a bit of both ways?
All bar one. I think they've all been going from silver to gold.
I would have expected the opposite.
Yeah, well, the world kind of works in funny ways sometimes.
It does. Is this gold in general? So are we talking, your value for money, locally produced stuff?
Mostly.
Or is it I thought it may have been related to the lunar,
there was,
people getting dragons. And
yeah, there was absolutely some of that, but there was more people converting unallocated into dragons. Rather than changing metals over. Although a number of people, I don't know if, if either of you guys had this, but I had a number of people that would have secured particularly the gold dragon online, and then they would have come in with a 1 ounce gold bar and said, I'll sell this back in and I'll pay the difference in premium.
Which is great, because psychologically, I know it's wrong, and this is not financial advice, but it feels like you're only paying, $180, $200 for an ounce of gold. It's that's the kind of logic I use when I'm stacking and building up my collection. So please don't take that as
the Matt approach.
Yeah, Matt gave me advice, and it hasn't worked out well for me.
Matt says how to get an ounce of gold for $200. Here we go.
Convert a bar into a coin. Unreal. But it's good fun. It's a good way to do it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to kick us off because I believe it is now live up on the website, and so I kind of want to get people heading over there right as it started. I'm going to kick off with an auction that I kind of set things off with a little bit this week. Had plenty of people messaging in and calling in and asking about this one. It should be sitting on the desk next to Matt. It is a Perth Mint 100 ounce bar.
There's another secret surprise. I'll keep out a shot. Hey, all right, ready? I'll just slide it on in. It's going to be sideways.
That's all right.
It's the only way it'll fit.
Huzzah!
Ta-da!
So yeah, I took a photo of this one. We had this one come back through as a buyback, and I fell in love with it a little bit. It's just a beautiful bar.
Look at that. That's a nice shot. It's nice and artsy.
Absolutely beautiful bar. I'll throw up my artsy photo of it. There we go. Look at that one. But yeah, we are going to be running this one on our website through the auction feature. I'll pop a link to that. That should be able to take people straight there. Last time I checked, I don't know, I haven't refreshed it since, but last time I checked, it was up for $1. So
look out!
Starting at $1, and that's going to be running through till Sunday.
Sunday night, I think it is.
8 o'clock, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
And that's Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Standard Time. Is that what we say?
No, there was way too many words.
Yeah,
in that.
it is a
but
lot.
You know what we mean? Melbourne time.
Yeah. Left-facing swan, lads. Can you believe it? When did they change that, Michael?
Oh, early 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
We knew this. Who do we ask, Ruben? We spoke to Neil. No, not Neil.
It was someone at Sydney.
In Sydney at the symposium.
I actually believe they checked with. I believe they checked with Neil.
They spoke with Neil, and we got confirmation. And I promptly forgot.
I've lopped off your head there, Matt. Sorry, let me.
No, but I mean it depends, because they actually staggered the change, so they didn't do all of them in one hit. They all went to right-facing swans.
I should have written it down.
It was over a period of a couple of years.
I'm sure there was an answer though. and I forgot.
Yeah, there absolutely was.
Someone go back to 25 streams ago when we
25 and the
Yeah,
rest.
I don't know. Who's counting?
But that bar would be older than early 2000s.
yeah, this bar would be older than me. Maybe.
Hang on, when were you born?
93.
Oh, actually, it might. Yeah, I was going to say rubbish, but you're only a whippersnapper.
No, I do like those as just even a different type of bar as well, because they're an extruded bar, not a are we still in shot? Yeah, they're an extruded bar, not a cast bar like their previous generation, like the most recent generation of 100-ounce were. But even those aren't easy to come by anymore. They've stopped producing them.
Special glove to flip it over.
Hey.
What's on the other side, lads? Take a guess.
Silver.
Complete blank.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Free space, free real estate. You could do whatever you like with that. Put your initials in there. Maybe all the BN lads will autograph it.
Jason's saying my dollar start point has since been blown out of the water. We are up to 3,200,
which is still below spot.
I think so.
Because spot's almost $37 an ounce.
I can't line it. It's what's the word? Like it's a mirrored.
Yeah.
I move it one way, but it goes the other way on the camera. Look at that. That's cool. Tell me what an extruded bar is, Ruben.
You're looking at essentially they heat it up and then kind of squeeze it between two rollers, I believe is the idea, and they kind of squash it down.
Not the kind of place you want to put your fingers.
Yeah. Although with a bar like that, it almost has, I would assume, a stamp kind of process as well, because it's got quite a detail on top of the bar as opposed to some other extruded bars that are
got a wobble on it.
Definitely gonna just pop that. I'll just go for safety first.
Yeah, as opposed to some others that it literally just look like they've been squashed down. It's all right, Matt.
Stressful stuff.
Nobody saw. But yeah, I thought I'd initially throw that up as just a bit of a show and tell of some of the things we get through. The problem with that though is everyone kind of goes, "Wow, that's cool. Can I buy it?" And it's like, well, there's one of them. So
trouble is that's just the staff.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Exactly. So yeah, thought we'd run that up as an auction, and for those that aren't able to make the show live, yeah, that's it. It'll be running until the weekend.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Sunday night.
Yeah, if it goes well, we'll make this a bit of a feature. I know there's a few other nifty bars that may or may not be floating around out the back that are worth a bit of a highlight.
You're not allowed to steal some of them because Ruben's building up a Perth Mint kilo bar museum piece.
I got in trouble for looking today. Oscar said, "Don't even look at those bars." And I said, "All right, yeah, all right, fair enough." So watch this space. Sounds like we're going to have an interesting display at some point.
Well, yeah, it'd be cool even just for a video to do a bit of a the different generations of Perth bars is something we're looking at doing. And yeah, getting as wide a variety as we possibly can, and kind of looking at the differences and
bars through the ages.
That's it.
Very
That's
good.
the one. Going to drag us back, fellas, to the Dragon. CT Tongue. Will there be half ounce Lunar Gold Dragon in the near future? Perth Mint.
Do you have details?
We do. So just before we came on live stream, actually, Perth Mint flicked us an email. The half ounce and the 2 ounce. Was it the 1/20th as well? It was definitely the half ounce and the 2 ounce Dragon will be released. I'm just confirming my.
I was going to say, those are actually normally ones that are released alongside the other ones, and it's normally just the 1/20ths that are delayed by, a couple of weeks normally.
So the 10 ounce, the 2 ounce, and the half ounce gold bullion coins will be released on, wait for it,
I'm waiting.
Monday the 27th of November. So that's not this Monday, it's the following Monday.
Beautiful.
So I thought
that'd be nice to see it in gold on a larger.
Yeah.
So you said 10 ounce.
The
as
10
well.
ounce, yeah.
Wow.
I read that as 1/20th ounce when I was reading it at my desk. So, whoops. But yeah, so the 10 ounce, the 2 ounce, and the half ounce gold will all be available as of Monday week. The other size, the quarter ounce and the 1 ounce, and the 1/10, 1/10 for the quarter and the 1 ounce are already, the 1 ounce is sold out. So let me take that one out of the equation, start again.
Yeah.
The 1/10 and the quarter is currently available right now as we speak.
What's your pick of the bunch in terms of just your personal preference, in terms of the size
Design
for the gold?
Size of gold.
Yeah, well, the design's all the same on
design's
the
the
gold,
same.
isn't it? Yeah.
I love the extremes, so I really like the 1/20th. in size. I haven't seen the Dragon actually physically in the 120th yet.
Yep.
But I'm anticipating I'll like that one. And I like either or the 2 ounce or the 10 ounce.
Yeah.
They're my favourites because you just get that.
Yeah.
What I'd really like to see is them do the 2 ounce, but in a very deep one, so in a 1 ounce diameter.
Oh, like a Pideford style, like a high relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking numismatics now. You're not even talking
No,
about
but-
bullion coins, mate.
But you still make it a bullion coin. Just make it a deep, chunky one.
Yeah, this is getting
You're
awful.
blurring the line.
Yeah, it feels very proofy.
No, it doesn't have to be. It's, if you make it, all the pied fit and all that sort of stuff, yeah, that's one thing. But if you just have a deep coin, like planchet, and just stamp it on top, so it's just a standard bullion stamp, but on a quite deep planchet, I reckon that'll look the bee's knees. Because it'll have that chunk to it.
Speak to Perth.
Yeah,
He's still in negotiations to take it over.
Oh, well,
Anything's possible in the big world.
I'm waiting for him to get back to me.
Yeah, sent a letter.
Yeah.
There is a few people asking Michael about delivery estimations on the 1 ounce golds. People have placed orders earlier in the week or even last week and are waiting on the actual stock.
I possibly need to explain some of the logistics of deliveries from Perth Mint. So, and this goes, I'm not picking on Perth Mint in this one. This actually goes for a lot of the mints and refineries from around the world. So, because of their insurance, they will only be able to dispatch a small amount to each company or to several companies per day. Now, because of the size of the allocation we've got, we've had to break up our order into, look, I can't remember, but it was like 20 or 30 bags. Like it's whatever it is, it's huge. And so they'll only send us 2 bags a day, 3 times a week. Now, not only you got to remember are there 1 ounce dragons in that, but there's the other size dragons. There's also the kangaroos that we're currently ordering. There's also the 1 ounce cast bars that we're currently ordering from Perth Mint. There's also all the minted bars that we order from Perth Mint. All have to come in all of those processions. So they're many, 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 many bags behind sending them to us. So as they're coming in, we're dispatching them as fast as we can. I believe we're almost there. We're down to about the last 100 coins, so probably the last 4, 5, 6 bags, 4 or 5 bags. So we're anticipating all of them being dispatched from us by about approximately, loosely, Wednesday next week.
Give or take.
Yeah, give or take.
Business days.
Well, we're kind of stuck to Perth Mint's schedule. We can't send them out before Perth Mint ships them to us. So there's a little bit of playing around there, but I appreciate people's patience. I know everyone's eager to get them in their hot little hands. We've almost finished. Like I said, we're down to about the last 90 to 100.
Perfect.
Alongside you hearing more about the other sizes for the Dragon, have you heard anything about the Great Southern Land?
No.
No?
Peter
Grace, me guys.
Hold up there.
asking-
Is this another treasury type situation? Because I
We'll
would've
do this
thought,
live.
well and truly, we
We're
would have
gonna
seen
watch.
that by
We're gonna
now.
watch Michael type out an email live.
Oh,
It'll be
yeah.
All caps.
dramatic. Yeah, caps lock. Where is it? The
Yeah.
people are
No,
asking.
I've
Urgent.
I have to maintain a relationship with these people.
Yeah, that's
You can talk about something else while I'm madly typing.
Changing the font to all red.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, plenty of other people asking. Someone was asking if we are going to be attending the metals meetup.
Yeah, what's the story there? Is this, my understanding is this could very well be
No, it's been cancelled.
Sunday the 3rd? Have I said too much? What?
I've just been a turkey.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Hasn't been cancelled. I actually don't know specific. Is it the 3rd? Yeah, no.
Yeah, it is. It's the 3rd of December.
Yep.
At 2:30.
That's,
Get back me up here, Rubes. It's usually 2:30,
Live
isn't it?
stream time.
Yeah. Dentist time, 2:30. So, yeah, that will be on Sunday, the 3rd of December at 2:30. For details, if you haven't been before, send an email to mark@bulliontraders.com.au. Mark looks after all the organising of that sort of stuff. So, for details, if you'd like to come along to that, shoot him a message. He will send you the details of where it is and best way to get there. And it's actually a really good meetup because it's meeting up with like-minded people. there's quite a lot of stackers there. What do you reckon there was last time, Rubes?
We packed out the room pretty nicely.
Yeah, 60, 70 of us.
Yeah, 50, 60.
Yeah, somewhere around that sort of number of like-minded people. There's also a few of the dealers are there. And a few people that come along that have got, collections that they're trying to, or stacks that they're trying to unload for various reasons, whether they're after cash or whether they're just, I've got 3 of these, I want to cull it down to 2, so I'm selling one, or, I want the money because I want to convert it into something else. So you can pick yourself up a bargain. They quite often, in fact, I think every time, there's an auction there. So you're free to participate. Either you can bring stuff along to include in the auction, or you can just bid in the auction. It's unless otherwise organised with the person whose product it is, it's cash on the spot, and away you go. So the organisers of the event and the auctioneer they don't take any cut. There's no premiums or anything like that in there. But B, they don't take any responsibility for the product. They're merely there just as a medium of exchange. So yeah, come along. You can put your stuff down, have it auctioned off, and get the best price you can for it. Or alternatively, you may be able to pick up a bargain on the other side. So it's a really good afternoon out. You learn all sorts of interesting facts while you're there as well.
Nice one.
And meet some great people and have a drink.
Yep. Saw someone, John Smith, asking, is the 2015 silver Chinese panda coin on the website correct in price?
What's this?
It is. It's up there for $1,500 at the moment. It's actually a sheet of them. I might have to talk to the guys about changing the listing slightly because I actually just had a quick read and I can't see anywhere specifying that it is actually like a sheet within the listing besides the title or how many there are.
It should have changed.
It doesn't say how many coins are in the...
There's no sheet. It's not by the sheet.
Okay.
I updated it just before I came on. It's per coin.
Well,
and don't panic. They're not $1,500.
No, they are still up for $1,500,
Yeah, well,
and it still has the word sheet on there. So.
Somebody hasn't
Lads.
hasn't updated the pricing when I asked them to. So
Someone's
live,
already
just
noticed.
live television for you
Someone's
guys.
already noticed your mistake, Michael. Someone's. Sorry, I'm not going to throw you under the bus like that.
actually, I did leave the word sheet in there. I took out the 30. But the pricing should be right because
Sheet of one.
I flicked that off to the relevant person just before I came on the live stream.
Well,
So
it has not yet been fixed. So hopefully that gets updated.
okay. Well,
soon.
when I finish this email, I'll send that message to try and get that fixed as well.
That one will be in all caps.
I was actually meant to bring one down to show on live stream.
Yeah.
Because we've only got about 40 of them, I believe it is 40 or
Sheets
50.
or coins?
No coins.
Who knows?
They were, believe it or not, they were found in the back of one of the vaults at EDC.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I was like, there you go. Didn't know we had these.
Early Christmas.
We'll get rid of them.
Jamie Thomas wants to know, when are we getting the 10-ounce silver Tudor Beast Seymour unicorns?
Well, funnily enough, Ruben and I just did an unboxing.
But not of
the 10-ounce or the 2-ounce silver, but the other range, so the 1-ounce gold and the 1-ounce platinum. So they have arrived. We've done the unboxing. I don't believe they're on the web yet, and they won't be probably, I'd suggest, until early next week.
Yeah, well, we should be able to get that one up for next week.
I don't believe that we currently have the silver Tudor Beast unicorn in yet, but give us a few weeks and we should have it. It's, I don't know, probably learning how to swim across the channel at this stage.
So we're happy with the Royal Mint again? All right, I'll say no more. What else has been happening, lads?
You should have seen, Michael in that unboxing.
There'll be a little bit of cutting room floor stuff with that
few
one.
edits.
I suspect, yeah.
You're going to have to do that again, Ruben, was it a Christmas thing you did last year with a whole series of bloopers?
Bit of a blooper reel.
There's going to be no shortage of those this year, I think.
Yeah, they can't go on a blooper
I was
reel
gonna say
either.
Oh, yeah.
They're more so ones I can't show, yeah. I don't know, I think I've been, I haven't been recording, I've been trying to keep my recordings a little bit shorter, and so I haven't been recording as much beforehand, and so that's often where Michael will do the silly things or whatever that would make it into a blooper reel. So I honestly don't know if I've got that much for this year. We'll see if anything we'll see if anything happens.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
There's a great question here from Bots. It says, can Bullion Now make a video example of what is acceptable for buyback, at what point something becomes scrap? If I cut a silver kangaroo halfway through with a pair of snips, will you buy it back? Yeah, I think it'd be very interesting to go through a bit of a video describing, what's okay, what's not,
green tick, red cross, it's a winner. It's a
bit of an amber, watch out.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea. We should do that. But to answer that particular question, we would not buy if you were to cut your kangaroo in half, that's the sort of thing that,
It's illegal.
Well, it is technically illegal,
You're
but it's
No, it's not technically. It is illegal.
well, and that is technically. I'm yet to. Well, hold the phone. I'm yet to see someone be prosecuted for cutting a bullion coin in half.
Somebody's tempting the federal police gods in the corner here.
But let me see. Show me where it was. We're going on a slippery slope here, but I'm yet to see
This is right up there with snakes with legs.
That's going to come up. Hold on. We need to tackle this one first before we get into mythical creatures. I haven't seen any public cases of someone being prosecuted. I'm not saying that it's something you should do. Quite the opposite. Probably steer clear. But since it is, I will say technically, because it's technically illegal, but I haven't seen anyone, go down in a court of law for snipping a kangaroo in half with...
Has to be a kangaroo?
Can be whatever you want. Anything. What do you got? 1,000 ounce bar?
No, somebody's got charged, pleaded guilty to twice defacing a $10 note with a black felt tip pen.
Okay, well, I'll allow it. Yeah, go on. But what was it? Did they just... What have they drawn
charge?
something? Yeah, what is the charge?
The penalty is $5,000 or imprisonment for 2 years, or both.
Could you imagine that, rocking up to jail? They say, what are you in for? No,
I drew a smiley face.
Yeah, did a smile face on a $10 note. Said, have a nice day on it. I'll be getting out in 2026. Yeah. Oh, gee.
See, Kane's commenting there that there's YouTube videos of people melting kangaroos to make silver paws on YouTube. If you're not living in Australia, my understanding is if you're not living in Australia, it's actually not illegal.
What?
Well, if they're not chasing people within Australia as a regular thing, I can't imagine there's a task force making it an international affair. And you can't enforce that anyway. So yeah, no, it absolutely would not be a problem if you're overseas.
It's an interesting one, that's for sure.
I've often wondered, jewelers that make sovereigns into jewelry.
Yeah,
is that defacing the coin?
That's the handball of a century, Michael.
I would say yes. And also, I've seen at markets and things like that, and you've probably seen them as well, people cut out the fields of like a sixpence or something like that. So you just have the coat of arms with an outer border. That's absolutely, again, technically it's illegal, but I'm yet to see the federal police kick in the doors of a local market and upend their table and put the cuffs on them.
Yeah.
But... I don't know, maybe it has happened. If someone can find a news article, I will stand corrected and I'll eat my hat. Until such time, I'm skeptical.
You've given quite a handball there, Michael, to talking about those very same coins. Jewelers copy sovereigns.
That's
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, handball of a century. That's legitimately something that we were wanting to talk about today. Because
that's genius.
I bought back a fake sovereign.
But hang on, did we answer the question, Ruben? What was the question? I want to leave.
The idea of doing a video on.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea of basically, would we buy this back? Would we not buy this back? What's the line? It'd be good to get that together in a video at some stage.
But and just to clarify, I think I already said it, but we would not buy back a coin that you've cut in half.
Yeah,
we would not.
Yes, that is correct. So I hope that answers your question, and it's a great idea for a video.
Yep.
We'll have a hoot with that.
What, cutting a coin in half?
Talking about it. Come on, switch on.
I'm still trying to catch up on all these notes.
Still trying to work out how you can get a photo of a snake with legs.
Michael's been put off for the stream. He's now just writing emails. We've lost Michael.
Trying to work out how to turn the caps lock off.
I'm just going to...
Sovereigns are actually legal tender.
Just going to go to this shot for the rest of the stream because Michael...
So
that's a nice shot.
Kian Ty, sorry, I'm butchering your name, mate.
Yeah,
I
and Mike as well saying the same.
Sovereigns aren't legal currency anymore. They are. The only Australian legal tender that has ever been decommissioned is the Holy Dollar and Dump. Everything else that's ever been used as Australian currency is still valid to this day.
And has equivalent values far below what they're actually worth.
Yeah.
You're talking £1 for a sovereign. So if you go into the RBA in Martin Place, swap it over, and then go outside and cry because you've just lost a whole bunch of value.
But it actually shows, because a sovereign, when we converted over to decimal, the sovereign did have a swappable value.
Yeah.
Even prior to that, it still had the swappable value, like you said, for £1. So it showed that at that stage, £1 was the equivalent of 0.2, hang on, Rubes, correct me here, 0.2.
0.2354.
Yeah, 2354. So let's call it a quarter of an ounce for the sake of the argument. So £4 at that stage where that was kind of set would have bought you 1 ounce of gold.
Yeah, what a thought. What a concept.
So it shows you how much inflation has occurred over that time period.
Yeah.
Where an ounce of gold at some point was worth the equivalent of $4 Australian.
What a time to have been alive.
Hmm.
Born too late. Whiffed it.
No, but that's the whole theory behind gold, is that the problem is that £4 or $4, however you want to look at it, then was equivalent to 1 ounce of gold. So even today, those $4 would be, like, if they'd grown at the correct rate, would still be $3,000. So your wage, it would still be correspondent with your wage.
As long as you held it in sovereign form, though, and not...
but everything else has grown.
Even if you had the old £1 notes, if you had a couple of star notes, you'd be in business.
Yeah, but because this is the problem, is that we all look at things in paper money value. So you say this is worth this, so it's gone up. That's not actually the way we should look at it, because that video that we did back in 2020, the 330 ounces of gold was the equivalent of one house.
Yeah.
So the house hasn't changed. Today you can still buy one house for that 330 ounces of gold, give or take a little bit because it varies around. But, effectively that concept's there. The only thing in the equation that had changed was the amount of notes that you had to use.
Yeah.
So everything else is still worth the same. It's just the fact that the notes are worth less.
Yeah, your purchasing power is just sliding off a cliff.
Yeah.
And... well, you need to revisit that video. That was very informative. And I can say that without, what's the word?
Any bias?
Yeah, because I was a customer of Bullion Now. I was yet to be employed when you made that video, and I was very engaged with that one. So you need to revisit it with maybe some new data.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea too.
Matt, do a poll, Ruben.
Can I get you talking about Jeweller's sovereigns,
yes.
Matt?
Speaking of which, we finally got there. We now understand what Ruben was referring to.
What is a Jeweller's sovereign?
So a Jeweller's sovereign is generally something I need to look at that.
Yeah.
The problem is Ruben's over here, and I don't look at the camera. I'll get better. One day I'll figure that out. I've only been doing this for how long? So jewelers' sovereigns were generally produced if someone came into a jeweler and said, I'd like to have a sovereign turn into a necklace or put on a pendant or a ring, and I'd like it to be this date for, say, sentimental reasons. If the jeweler didn't have, and I imagine it'd be pretty common, the jeweler wouldn't have the entire date range on hand, what you would then do is manufacture a sovereign with whatever date was selected by the client. As a result, we have sovereigns out there circulating that come through BN from time to time that are technically not genuine sovereigns. However, they are still often 22 karat gold and sometimes even higher purity. So interestingly, in a numismatic or a collectible sense, they would come into a coin shop and there may be dealers that would say, well, I won't touch it because it's fake. I can't on-sell it to a collector. Whereas a place like Bullion Now, dealing in bullion, we look at it purely for the intrinsic value. So we look at the gold content and therein lies the value. So it is something that comes through from time to time. And we have one such example here that we can show you on Ruben's fancy camera.
It's actually, I've actually set this a little bit higher up, and it's going to be a little bit harder to tell on that shot.
Do you want me to get the fancy
No.
glove out?
Well, I've got a bit of a close-up photo on them, but I want them next to each other just to kind of see that it is actually kind of passable. There is.
Wow, do a poll, Ruben, left or right, which is fake? That's a good poll. Come on, you got to give me that one.
All right.
Yes. Incoming poll. Get ready. The answer may shock you.
Left. Oh, right. There we go.
So this is left. This doesn't it's not mirrored, is it? So that's left. That's right.
You're struggling with your left and right today, aren't you, mate?
I get confused. Yeah, didn't take much. Which is fake, left or right?
Votes are coming through fairly consistently for the left one being fake. A couple
Well,
more votes swinging over
The answer
right.
may shock you.
Look at
Need focus close up. All right, hold on.
Yeah, no,
I'll
no,
put
no.
it on the-
I've got a proper photo, but that will give it away. The closer you
It
get,
won't
the
give
more
it
obvious
away.
it gets. That's the problem.
Well, this could change everything. I said the answer may shock you.
No,
It may not too.
That's true. Well, that might shock you.
I haven't set that camera up. But, okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Can you tell?
Let me throw up the photo, but I suspect it will give it away slightly. So
Have you got them round the right way on the photo though?
Exactly.
I
That
don't-
may shock you.
that's the plot twist. That is indeed the plot twist. Can you guys tell from that photo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've reversed them
you've
round, though.
reversed
I
them.
have reversed it.
Okay, everyone disregard this image.
It wasn't deliberate. But yeah, so
The one that was on the left that is now on the right is the fake.
so everyone that voted left is correct. But yeah, so under a little bit more of a closer view, you can see there just the lack of detail on that one on the right, particularly around the rim. And it's a little bit more reflective than what it should be, and there's just not quite as much detail there as it should be. Obviously, there is a difference in the dates. I tried to grab one as close as I could, but we didn't have too many sovs hanging around.
You should have checked my desk. There's hundreds of them.
There you go. But yeah, you can see a little bit more of the difference between a real sovereign and a jeweler's copy there, but. Let me go back to everyone there. Testing this one, it still tests through as 90% gold, which is slightly off what it should be. It should be 91.7. And it weighs slightly short as well. They should be 7.98 grams, and the jeweler's copy tested through at 7.95. But yeah, technically it is still a 90% gold coin weighing 7.95 grams. It is still real in that sense. It is just not what it is claiming to be, which is a sovereign from that date.
Yeah.
Does that enter all sorts of issues with manufacturing legal legal tender then, Michael?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask Matt.
Technically.
If you're stressed about destroying legal tender, what about counterfeiting? Because there are a lot of people that have, a lot of examples of people that have been done for counterfeiting currencies.
That's see, and I sound like I'm ducking and weaving, but technically you're correct. However, these are not being produced with the intent of using commerce. No, this jeweler's copy, you're not going to go down to your local milk bar and buy a loaf of bread. It's designed for a decorative function.
It doesn't
it's
matter.
Probably an pendant or something.
That's why when you buy, toy money in the at one of the toy shops,
it's stamped
it says,
not legal tender,
or copy or whatever they stamp it with. I haven't done it for a little while.
We've seen that with even some of the US. I've seen like half-ounce silver eagles and things like that. Even though they're real silver, because it's not the classic US 1 ounce eagle, they still have to have the word copy on it and things like that. So that's it. Even internationally, there's examples of having to slap the word copy or
I don't know. I wonder if that's the case in Australia, because you occasionally see them with copy on them. But so if you stamp copy on it, you're squeaky clean.
Yeah,
no
you'd actually be right.
There is still a monarch on the other side as well. Someone just there's not a monarch on it. There still is.
You've got George V on the obverse there. But
I don't have a close-up photo on that one.
I think my suspicion, right? And again, when I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal financial advice.
Desi says he's already going to be asking you to represent him.
Please don't. You're not going to go to a good place if I'm your yardstick for legal information. But I would think, my opinion, is that it wouldn't be as controversial, i.e., the federal police won't kick your door in if you're walking around with this jeweler's copy on a necklace.
Nah.
You're not trying to... I think I would be curious, and we should do a video on it next time we're in Sydney. I'll take that into the Reserve Bank and say, I want to swap my pound over. We'd be in strife if they did accept it, because we get $4 or whatever the rate is, and then all of a sudden we've got a counterfeit sovereign in the Reserve Bank's system. That's an interesting one. I wonder if Do they have an
Gary
XRF
says
at the
they'll-
Reserve
they'll-
Bank?
they'll
Are they going to
arrest
check
him.
it out? To what end do they inspect a sovereign?
They're going to go, get out of here.
Would they?
I reckon they would.
We're going to have to go to Sydney again and see.
Gary reckons it's ending in you getting arrested, Matt.
There's every chance
Again.
of it. But anything for a good video, you know? You remember the last Sydney trip?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that was good. What else? What else has been happening?
There's a question from Crypto Monkey. I know they asked it before as well. We have, I think I've asked this question to you a couple of times before, Michael, that people asking about the Morgan Le Fay coins.
I don't think we're getting him.
Oh, what gives? You said maybe last time. I guess that's what maybe means. Maybe not.
Yeah, leave it with me.
Maybe not.
What I think the answer in why not is probably to do with the Royal Mint and their silver, but
It's just, it's too hard. Like, you throw money at these things. They take weeks and months to turn up.
Yeah.
And you get them here, and 80% of them are just scrap. You know, like...
Yeah, it'd almost be within tolerance, a permissible tolerance, if it was one coin in every 50 tubes, but it's more like...
I'd put up with one coin every 50 coins.
Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that you could stomach, but when it's... Yeah, that is rough when you see an entire tube. You go each coin... If it's not the obverse, it's a reverse. One side is going to be covered in milk spots, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I conceded, but I think there may be some truth to your theory that it's in transit.
That's the only thing I can...
I think you might
Yeah.
be right, because I tried to shoot you down and said you're a goose, but I think you might be right, because surely they're not coming out of the Royal Mint looking like that. I wonder if any... Actually, you know who we should ask? Our new friends at Tennessee Coins.
Oh,
If-
no, they're
if
still
they
having
get-
the same issue in the
So,
States.
okay. So it's
Yeah.
not just
So you need to...
us.
What we need is one of the guys in the UK that's bought them, you know, pretty much direct from the Perth Mint. The Royal Mint.
Yeah.
I think I still have heard of a couple of UK guys complaining or talking
Well,
about the state
Again,
of the coins.
it would be interesting to talk to them and say, look, is this a, you know, one every so often sort of thing, so you jagged a bad one? Or is this like we get them over here where, you know, Ruben and I'll do an unboxing and we'll have to, you know, cut and paste because the first 15 tubes I open, you know, don't have one that doesn't have a milk spotting on it.
That's
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something, if you could do a test, some sort of test on their tubes. I wonder if there's a material that it's reacting to, or if the tube perhaps when the
I doubt it
temperature
because
fluctuates.
it's on the face of the coin and not the
this is
rim.
not
true.
the
It's
rim.
not just all along the rims. Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it was the tube, I would absolutely. Sorry, if
Even
on
if
the
it was just the
edges.
top and the bottom
Yeah.
Yeah.
coin. But it's not. It's spread fairly evenly through the tube.
There was a Jason before asking if they could ask a hard question. I said yes in chat, but I haven't seen them actually ask the question yet. So if you're still listening, feel free to fire away. Can't promise we'll answer. We'll be able to answer it, but
We'll have a crack.
you feel free to at least ask it. A couple of people commenting about the about the Morgan Le Fays there.
Peter, Grace be guide. He's still waiting for some business cards. He's cutting out our old invoices to use.
Appreciate the dedication, but we should probably sort that out.
I'll send All I'm doing this stream is actually sending messages to everyone. I'll send a message through to our dispatch facility and get them to send you some out.
Aussie girl, is milk spotting contagious?
Don't know. You got spots?
I don't think so. I don't think it is.
No, I don't believe it is.
We should try an experiment. If we get a handful of milk spotted coins and we'll put one nice one in a container of sorts and see if after a week or so
it would depend what was causing the milk spotting.
I've just had a message back that apparently some business cards have already been sent out.
Oh, perfect. Look at that.
So
No,
You can backspace your all caps message.
All right. Sorry, Em, I won't send that abusive message.
I wanted to bring up some of Perth's new kind of numismatic designs with you guys, because I'm interested to know what you think, because they're all dragon themed. Not all of them. The ones I'm going to highlight are dragon themed, and I kind of wanted to get your thoughts and impressions. And I actually saw someone in chat mention this before as well. We have there a couple of the recent numismatic releases out of Perth. We have a basilisk dragon thing done in platinum on the top left there. We have a different coloured dragon, different dragon design. And we have, and that's in the 1 ounce silver coloured. And then we have some 1/5 coins in gold. There's a set of 3, and I believe they might be selling at least one of them individually as well. But yeah, there's those there. So they've managed to get, another 5 dragon designs out, in fairly quick succession. Is this just them going, hey, we want to capitalize on the Year of the Dragon while we can, get as many out as we can? Is this just, hey, we had a few extra, is this the B dragon design that we're really proud of and also just wanted to get it out? What are your thoughts on it?
You want to start?
There was stunned silence.
I'm a little cynical on this.
I don't. I'm not dazzled by the basilisk. If we start with that one, the one that was in the top left-hand side, I think
But it's another platinum dragon. The lunar one obviously quite hard to get a hold of. So
that one's a proof,
that doesn't mean you just bung anything out though.
Well, yeah, I think it's a little lacking. I would have liked to have seen a bit of background, a little more, add a little bit more context as to where I would expect to see a basilisk, because that just seems a little. I don't know. It doesn't really, aside from the font, I don't really get a whole lot of. It doesn't evoke anything in me. What is that to the left hand side of the design where it's sort of claw is just next to the word?
Kind of a cave. Kind of. Okay. I'm guessing it.
Yeah. So you make that, enlarge that to a point where it's almost half the coin. I want to see. Is he flying into a cave? Is it? What's going on there?
Yeah. Give a bit of a story. A bit of a
Then the dragon in the middle.
The coloured one.
I like it, but you know what energy it gives me? It looks like it should be on a PNC. It doesn't look like...
That is absolutely right.
Yeah. So for those that are unaware, a PNC, occasionally referred to as a philatelic numismatic cover...
Never referred to as that.
Maybe just you.
I refer to it as a philatelic numismatic cover. Some people call it a postal numismatic cover. It's a fancy way of saying an envelope with a stamp and a coin. They're produced by Australia Post. Michael loves it. And so often you will see a different design on those. So for a Year of the Dragon, they always do a lunar release, Australia Post and Perth Mint. And that's what that design reminds me of, a PNC. So I like it, but it doesn't...
You're not racing out to grab it?
I'm not racing out to grab it. But it's not to say I don't like it. Then the 1/5, I don't like. I don't like any of those designs. They kind of look like tadpoles to me. It doesn't evoke a sense of, the mythical dragon. It's this powerful, noble creature. They all look a bit, I guess because they're smaller, that's the idea, right? It's maybe an infant dragon or something, but it didn't set my world ablaze. That's my full rundown. What do you got, Michael?
I'm far more cynical than you. I think they're just pushing any design out they can just to turn $1 because it's a dragon. Because you don't see these things for Year of the Pig or anything like that. Like they slide that one through under the door as quickly as they can to get onto the next one. So this is where it starts to disappoint me, because it's part of the blame doesn't fall on Perth Mint. Like the 1/5 coins will be a private mintage that Perth Mint have been contracted to do. So, you can't really blame Perth Mint for turning away business or for not turning away business. It is what it is, but don't get... If you like them, you like the design, absolutely get them and put them as part of your collection. And I think it's worth the money if you do. But don't buy them thinking you're going to make some great investment. It's a lot of these things you have to be selective with, because they're just spitting them out to try and squeeze the last dollar out of the design.
That's not financial advice, but I agree.
It's right up there with Matt's, Macquarie Mint Dragon design.
Yeah, wow. Jeez, I'm sure there'll be something to that effect coming out. A 12 coin collection, each one more expensive than the last. But I think I agree. It's a case of, you're right, it's sort of striking while the iron's hot, much like the Royal Australian Mint capitalizing on the $2 coin market.
Yeah.
You know, you do one, it's popular, blink and all of a sudden there's 50 other designs out there, and I wonder how sustainable that is. But I guess in the example of the Dragon, it's something that's going to be recurring every 12 years. So they know that if there are people that are working towards a full set. Although, having said that, and just thinking out loud here, when you have unique products like some of the ones we just saw, they won't necessarily fit into a complete Lunar set.
No,
so
some
you
of them are
sort of,
one-offs.
they'll be sort of outliers in and of themselves. So
Yeah.
occasion, and this is to sort of play the other side of the fence, those coins can sometimes, a few years down the track, be quite popular.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've usually got to have a reason to be popular.
Yeah, they weren't popular. That's what I mean. We remember when we
Yeah, look, I can see
it's
what
drawing
you're
a long
saying,
bow. Look,
It's drawing a very
it's
long
just
bow.
another perspective on it. Not my personal opinion, but it's a possible reality.
Opinions of matter, not the opinions of Bullion Now.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything I say or do is my own.
But you can usually tie, even the unpopular things that become popular, you can usually tie it back to something.
You're right. There's a thread of logic attached to it.
Yeah. It can be pretty scratchy logic at
Yeah,
times, but
yeah.
you can at least get there. Whereas when someone produces a one-off 1/5 coin, and it's kind of there's nothing to tie it into the collectors.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare that it actually ever kind of becomes something.
Yeah, this is true.
We got an email talking about this is the Bullion Dragon design. Someone says, I agree with Michael, the Perth Mint silver design is good, but it does look a little bit out of place with the series. One observation, there's not much room on the 1 ounce to fit in a privy mark. I'm still new to collecting. Have they produced a silver Lunar with privy mark every year in the past?
Every year?
Well, every recent year.
Yeah. What would the oldest be?
Actually, I'm not sure, it's not
Series
the Dragon.
2?
Series 2 Dragon was where they kicked off with the privies, because they were trying to wring the neck of it to
Now
squeeze
instead we get a
everyone.
basilisk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We sound very cynical. This is becoming a critical analysis stream, this one.
It's Black Humour Friday.
There was a comment that I saw pop through the chat. I did, however, quite like the 5 ounce design, the coloured dragon. I don't know if you...
Oh, I haven't pulled that one up.
Looks good.
I thought that was a really cool take on stylistically. I like the artistic style of that. It almost looks like a painting on the coin. I thought they did a really good job with that, and it does depict a dragon in that sense of a powerful beast, blast and fire. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a good job with that one too.
Good stuff. Alrighty, I'm going to play a video now that Matt and I filmed earlier today.
Oh, cool.
Talking through, traditions to do with bullion. Exactly. And yeah, I'll let that speak for itself. We'll be back momentarily.
See you soon. Thanks, Matt and Michael. I decided to come out here today, get on the pavement in the Melbourne CBD to come take a look at the beautiful town hall, which is all jazzed up for Christmas celebrations. And it got me thinking about some interesting traditions that relate to coins and the giving of bullion. So to start with, there's an interesting Greek tradition referred to as vasilopita, which is where you give the gift of a coin by putting it in some foil and putting it within a cake. And it's thought that if you receive the coin, that will give you good luck for the upcoming year. Another interesting tradition, it actually relates to a wedding day, which is a silver sixpence in the bride's shoe. So it actually comes from the rhyme, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, a silver sixpence in her shoe. There's also another tradition, again, it's based in the UK, and it relates to the birth of a child. So the idea is that you put a silver coin into the hand of the baby, and it's thought that if they hold on to the coin, if they grip the coin, they'll be financially responsible. But if they drop the coin, they'll be a frivolous spender. Another wedding tradition, this one actually comes to us all the way from India, and that is the giving of gold to the bride on the wedding day. So talking about all these interesting traditions has got me thinking, in Australia we don't really have any interesting traditions relating to bullion or the gift giving of coins that is truly Australian and unique to our country. So let me know in the comments, do you have any ideas for a tradition that we could make popular in Australia? Love to know your thoughts, let us know in the comments. I've got to go back to work now. There you go.
You're going to burst into song there.
Yeah, what a fascinating roving report. We couldn't hear it here in the studio, so I don't actually know what was said.
we basically ended off with, Australia doesn't have a tradition for bullion kind of in its coins. Has anyone got any ideas for something we could do?
That's right, I did say that.
Yeah.
Or the roving reporter did say that.
Yeah.
So any ideas, put them in the chat if you've got an idea for a tradition that could be distinctly Australian.
Yeah.
Maybe pop a silver coin in your schooner at the pub.
There was also one we mentioned about the classic of a coin in a Christmas pudding.
Yeah, that some of our footage was corrupted.
It was
you
a
know,
little bit.
We got some solid gold out there on the streets today, but that one was unfortunately went by the wayside.
Do you want to mention that one specifically a little bit more detail, because that one came with a bit of a warning.
It did, so you need to be very mindful. So there is it was its origins British, but there are a number of people in Australia have participated in the tradition of putting silver coins in your Christmas pudding. However, do not use coins after 1946. Why might that be, Michael?
Because of the copper content.
That's right. They're only 50% silver, so you may get a sore tummy if you're eating those. Don't eat the coins regardless. But
I was wondering where you're going with that. If you eat a coin that's got 50% copper in it
you're
or
not gonna
more,
have a good time.
you're going to have bellyache, as opposed to one that's pure silver.
So any of the other Australian silver pre-decimal coins from 1910 through to 1946 will be sterling silver, so 92.5% silver. You should generally boil them in advance just to get off any grubby bibs and bobs, yeah. And then pop them in your pudding, and if you get one in your slice, I believe it's good luck. I don't know how long for, maybe a year. Let's say a year of good luck. I don't know. You ever do that, Michael?
Well, I come from a British background, so yes, because it's a British tradition.
Is it the kind of thing, and I did say in the video, which unfortunately the footage is gone, but I would be incredibly apprehensive about biting into a coin. Wouldn't be good, right?
I don't know. As kids, we just thought it was fantastic. You got money in your cake.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of it. I
But
hated the idea of potentially biting down and
I've been
having
nervous,
a coin.
Well,
Like,
I don't know
yeah.
about you guys, but we always got it in a bowl with a teaspoon. And so you kind of...
Oh, yeah, you're not just
like-
chowing into it.
Yeah,
You've
so
got a
like-
little bit of a safety buffer.
You're not
All
trying
right,
to
that
stuff
makes
a full pudding in your mouth in one hit and chomping
Yeah,
down on it.
You eat differently to me then.
Some of us have a bit of decor, mate.
Oh, jeez.
There's a couple of ideas there revolving around a kookaburra and a bird bath now, Michael.
Yeah,
I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
your legacy to the Australian culture.
I love it. Oh, dear. Apparently the pandas are up and running on the web.
Ah, beautiful.
Good stuff. Senior Ding Dong wants to know, is baking legal tender illegal or not?
So long as you
Yeah.
don't damage the legal tender item, you're all good.
Don't bite into it.
Oh dear. But no, I thought that was a cool video going through. It's always fascinating to look at some of the other cultures, whatever, around the world,
Yeah.
and just see how bullion and precious metals in general has played a part in a variety of things. There was actually a couple. There is more out there. It's more a more exhaustive list than the ones we mentioned. But yeah, in all sorts of things is bullion.
I find it fascinating in a country that was effectively founded on the back of either wool or gold, because
Yep.
that's our kickoff.
Yep.
As a country, particularly it allowed us to become a successful country and break away from. Well, I mean, we're still a Commonwealth country, but break away from that British rule type of situation and strike out on our own. When gold is such an important part of our history that we don't have some form of bullion tradition, precious metal tradition, I find odd.
Well, this is what I'm driving to, or that's what the roving reporter was looking to drive to. We need to come up with something, and maybe this can be, similarly to being the official Friday sponsor, maybe we can be the official ambassadors for some sort of tradition that on a certain day of the year, that with certain significance, it becomes a bit of a trend to, what I would like to see as a tradition? The idea of buying something like, let's say, a 1 ounce silver coin and gifting it to someone with no idea or understanding of precious metals, and that can be
What's the purpose?
To open the door to them to have that, to give consideration to what value is in that sense to them. If you only value the currency in your bank account, to give a bit of thought to what precious metals are and what significance they can have in your life.
I actually fully support what you're saying, but have you ever received a gift where you have absolutely no clue as to what it is or why you've got it or why they thought you'd like it?
I saw.
Because there's an uncomfortable pause there.
Well, there was. It's funny that you say that because a specific incident comes to mind, and this is my father purchased for my then girlfriend an incomplete set of lawn bowls. Their relationship didn't work out. Yeah, that was a Christmas gift. That was the strangest thing. We were good. So yeah, I don't know. So that,
Did you ever say?
Yeah, that's an example. I did
what?
say. I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I was bargain. It's like $2 or $3 or something." I said, "Yeah, there's a reason for that. It's not complete, and it's a lawn bowl set. Why are you giving it to a 25-year-old girl?" Absolute shocker. It didn't work out. So yes, there are examples of gifts that make no sense.
That says a lot about your genetic history, mate.
Bet you didn't expect an answer, did you?
I don't know what to do with that. I've got no
Neither
clue
do
where
I.
to go from there.
Neither did I. Neither did she. And then it didn't work out.
That was the breaking point, was it?
Probably. One of them. Jeez, who would have thought we'd end up getting down this rabbit hole? Where were you going with that?
I've got no clue now.
So you don't like the tradition of buying an ounce of
do.
silver for someone that may not otherwise be
I
familiar
do.
with it?
I think.
It could be, you know what? Here's the idea. Bullion Now produce them. Have a little bit of a blurb on make a round with a little bit of a burst on silver or gold or precious metals as a concept, as owning value, tangible value, and there you go. It'll be a little. We'll call it the educator round with a QR code linked to this channel.
How successful was the dollar coin that Ram was it $1 or a $2 coin that Ram produced that you were meant to give to the homeless?
Funny you say that. They won an innovation award at the.
Yeah, but how useful was it?
What was $1? What do you mean?
Well,
useful as a dollar is.
I'll guarantee you that less than 100 of them were given to homeless people. Because all the collectors went out and bought the whole flaming lot, yourself included.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, it's a fair point.
It's technically immoral, Matt. Technically.
Wow, technically there's a lot of things.
I just wanted to throw technically back at you. It's okay.
And it's fair. I fully accept it. But yeah, it's still a great idea. Do a poll, Ruben. Would the community endorse, or do you think it's a good idea to create an educator round, a 1 ounce silver educator round that gives you a little bit of an overview on precious metals, why you may consider owning it? It'll be great. Well, we'll see. The poll, based on the poll, Michael will make a decision.
Oh, dear.
Incoming poll.
There we go.
Dear.
Well, I don't know. I think that'd be a little nicer as a product than just, a straight up shameless plug, just a big, BN. That's all it is. I think then you start a tradition as well. Look out.
I like this one where people are saying we should produce an incomplete set of bowls
In silver.
We'll call it the ex-girlfriend set.
I'll see if I can get in touch and find out if that'll be a winner.
Interesting split there. Looking like 60-40. You have any comments on the results there, fellas?
I'm surprised it's only 60-40. I thought more people would actually support it.
Well, I tried. That was my my bright idea.
Yeah. See, VB man just had an argument with a tiger snake live in Western Victoria. Any news when getting him in? That's the whole reason I don't want to get him in. They're horrible.
What?
I'll stop there.
Is it because there's no legs on them?
All right.
It's not anatomically correct.
It's time for that fight. You launch it into it, Michael?
Yeah,
I thought we were still doing the education round.
Yeah, I'll 66%. I'll accept. I think that's a victory.
There we go.
Yeah, I actually think it's a good idea. I'm just not sure how you do it.
Or you could do it on a bar, like one of the
Leg badge just says
bars.
with a message, like
with a little message
to print. No, alongside just a normal round. To just have a card or something that just brief little description. This is what it is. This is what it does. All that kind of stuff. Without actually having to have it be a specific educator round, it could just be No, I don't want to say like a gift set or something because you enter into all sorts of territory there. But even just a card that comes with it that says all the same information on it.
Something to think about.
I think it's got potential. We'd have to argue about it. Yeah, I like that comment, Rubes. The John Bush one that you had there. Thoughts on Argentina at 143% inflation?
That's not great.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
suboptimal.
You can use that quote in the title of this video.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez.
It's all right, mate. Everyone's gonna stay home to flatten the curve. It'll be right. It'll be done in a fortnight. They'll have it back.
Oh.
My eyebrows going right up. Jeez.
Actually, I'm a fan of inflation. I was going to do a video on that this week, Rubes, and we never kind of got back to it. I think I have to be very careful here because I don't have much time to actually explain what I mean, but...
We're going close for this one.
Yeah.
No, look, inflation is only bad if you're holding cash.
But the masses are holding cash or, equivalent in digital dollars. So it really does just become an education problem.
Yeah.
That quote could be on the educator round. Inflation is only bad if you're holding cash.
If you're unprepared, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, go on.
No, it is. Like if you're holding... And it doesn't have to be gold or silver. Obviously, in our example on this channel, we're going to talk more about gold and silver than anything else. But if you're holding physical assets, inflation is actually good because it increases the perceived value of your wealth.
Yeah.
Because if you own 2 houses and they double in a year in value, you're okay. If you own, let's say 2 houses is worth $1 million, so those 2 houses have doubled, you've now got $2 million worth of asset behind you. Mm-hmm. If you hold $1 million in cash instead of the 2 houses and houses double, you can only now afford 1 house.
Yeah, you've got the purchasing power of now $500,000.
Yeah, that's right. Well, half a house actually.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
looks like people's main criticism of that concept is to do with wages not increasing fast enough alongside it, or dynamically enough alongside that too. So you still run into problems, on the day to day, buying food or this or that, as opposed to.
But if you're conserving your purchasing power in physical assets, it won't worry you as much. Absolutely. Eventually, you're going to have to convert.
But you've not just said it doesn't matter. You've said it's a good thing.
Well, it is a good thing if your wealth and storage. Inflation is not so... Okay, let's take the hyperinflation, Zimbabwe example out of the equation for a moment.
Yeah.
Because where it's at the point of ridiculous where... what you earn in the morning won't pay for the bus fare on the way home because the inflation's impacted too much. That's really getting out there on the extreme. But we're talking, 100%, 200% per annum. If you can pay for your immediates now, so you get your wage and you buy your groceries pretty much straight away, and then anything left over is put into, I can't lift with that hand, I've ripped the tendons off my elbow, but you put it into a physical asset immediately, then it doesn't kind of matter what happens with inflation in the meantime. When you need to convert that back in, because you now need to convert it into something else, so I'm converting it back into cash, at that point, you need to make sure that you minimise the time it's in cash, but you change it into cash, and then you purchase whatever other thing, physical item preferably, that you're purchasing. So to a large degree, and I know this is a really broad statement with lots of holes in it, but don't focus on the negative, focus on the generalisation of it. Inflation, if you're not holding your asset, the only time inflation's really going to hurt you is if you're holding your wealth in paper assets. That's where it really starts to hurt.
Yeah, I think that's a fair general statement.
Fair enough. One of the other things I wanted to talk about this stream was something that was on the... I'll make this fairly short.
Hang on, no, come back.
Okay.
Brian Smythe. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Or say, I actually disagree with what you're saying. Money is supposed to be a store of value, not be inflated away. Money is not actually meant to be a store of value. Money is meant to be a transition. So I owe you $100. Money is a great way. So dollars are a great way for me to pay that. It's really easy to transfer wealth. If you wish to store value, you don't store it in money. You don't store it in dollars. You store it in, a bar of gold, in a house, potentially in certain cars, artwork, things like that will increase in value. I know, currency is not money. We can split hairs, but we know what we mean. If we're being told we're being paid in money, which is what the comments were prior to that, then that money, that money is not there for the storage of wealth. And I'd still argue. I actually disagree with Mike Maloney on this. I know he's trying to separate or get you to separate the difference between currency and money, and I can see it from that perspective. But we all think of money as the stuff that's in our wallet. So I think it's better to say the difference between money and physical asset, because that's actually the defining thing in there.
Cool. I'm giving you some time. Am I launching off?
No, you can go for it now.
All right. I wanted to comment on 9 News this week, or was it last week? Put out something to do with a different bullion store, but it was actually the start of...
I've got to drag you back, mate. It's going off.
Andrea,
Inflation is a great time to invest. I'm sorry,
I gave you so much space. I left so much dead
it's
air.
a little more space.
Yeah, I don't know what to do anymore.
So I want to pick up on this one as well. Andrea, inflation is a great time to invest. A recession, on the other hand, is not good. Everyone loses during a recession. There were more millionaires and billionaires created during the Great Depression than at any other time in history. So be really careful with that statement. I know where you're trying to go with it, but in actual fact, investing during the recession is actually, if you do it correctly, is actually where you will make the most, where you'll get the highest return.
It's I think it really does come down to the being prepared beforehand, and so that when something like that happens, you're in a position to be able to move around some of those assets as opposed to just getting lucky during that time.
So, Mr. Variable, if groceries, fuel and daily living goes up, that is inflation and loss of purchasing power. But if houses go up, they are increasing value. I'm a little skeptical. You're right. So the thing is, groceries, fuel, daily living, and houses are going up. The only thing that's actually going down in this equation is the paper money in your hand. And that's the whole point. If you can take that paper money, the quicker you can take it, and I don't care what inflation is running at, if you take that paper money and as quickly as you can, you convert it into physical stuff. You could convert it into toothpaste, because you're going to need it for the next however long you're going to live for. You're going to need toothpaste. So if you convert it into toothpaste, it's going to maintain its purchasing power, because as toothpaste goes up in value, you've already got it. You don't have to spend it again. You can swap it. I need a tube of toothpaste. If it's unopened, I'd consider buying it from you rather than buying it from the supermarket.
As if. No way. I'm not privately buying toothpaste. It's madness. I understand the theory, though. It's a sound theory.
It's still seriously, mate.
Yeah, I get where you're
you
going.
need to
with
live in the country. Tell you, there are times when
There's
you
a
go
lot of
camping.
trust. Yeah,
You'll buy toothpaste from anyone when you've been in the bush for 3 weeks and haven't done your teeth, and you're having to comb them for the fur on there.
Wow, we. Yeah, different way of living, I guess. Yeah, that is true though.
Sorry, Rubes. I'll back off now. You can turn my microphone off.
I don't.
I could do
believe
this all day.
I don't believe you. AY at least is keen to hear my story. Well, it's because they actually gave a bit of an advice as to now is a good time to buy gold.
You want to go back to
them.
the start? I've forgotten what you're talking about.
Channel 9.
Channel 9 have played, and I want to play a little clip from them and see what everyone reckons.
Thinking of where to invest your money, gold may not be the first thing that comes to mind, but now you could be in for the perfect time to test the waters as gold prices increased by more than 600% this week.
For more, let's
608%.
In a week.
Yep.
This week
This
alone,
week,
Michael.
gold has risen 608%.
Channel 9 said it.
And not just
Fact.
but it's done that, and so now is a good time to buy.
Get in on the ground floor, or maybe the second or third floor.
Why would you say, like, I can understand, get away from the fact that they've said it's done it in a week. You know, like, that's just 608%? Like, where'd the 8 come from?
That is a little bit of an out of context or a script error, I believe, on their part. Later
Feels like
on,
we're being the mainstream media now, just latching on that and saying, "Oh, look what they said."
Yeah, a little bit later on, they talk about, well, hey. A little bit later on, they talk about the fact that, you know, since 1999, it's got, you know, they actually throw some other stats, whatever, up there. But just the way that first bit is written, it's like, yeah, you know, gold is up 608% this week, and now is the time to buy. So get in before it's too late.
Yeah, quick.
And I wonder if, you know, we see all sorts of conclusions drawn from gold when it hits the mainstream meter. So I'd be interested to know if anyone took that away.
Yeah, that's right though. We've done exactly what the mainstream media do, where they snip it just a little bit, take it out of context,
Say this is
and blow the crap out of it.
This is their corporate line, and this is what they believe. Obviously, Carl just having a relaxed morning. Good on him.
So, you know,
I still want to know where the 8% came from.
I
still just playing with my brain.
I thought that might deserve a chuckle, but something else is something that working at Bullion Now has ruined for me, Michael. You've ruined something for me.
Oh yeah.
And that is photos of gold. Every time I come across an article, or even on other sites like Bullion sites or whatever, I come across these photos.
Thinking of where to invest your money, gold.
Carl, out of the
Horrifying photos.
I've pressed the wrong one there. There we go. I come across photos of not real gold. It's all CG, or it's, you know, just fake bars. I run into these all the time, and as someone who takes a lot of photos of gold, it kind of irks me that there's not stock photos out there of these bars of gold. And I brought this up with you earlier today, Michael, and you said, well, you know, it costs a lot of money to have, you know, the equivalent that they're trying to show, you know, or if you just put up a 1 ounce gold bar, it's not terribly impressive. But it really surprises me how widespread this is to use photos like that, even from people that are in the industry and have access to some of those bars. And I hope I haven't also ruined it for everyone else now after pointing this out. But yeah, ever since noticing it, it really frustrates. And yeah, you know, I actually thought about our bar in the background there. It's I'm quoting that it's not. It's not trying to be fake gold. It's it's a bar of chocolate, and therefore it's different. But you know, you could
that's a kilo.
You could argue the same.
No, it doesn't have a weight.
But yeah, obviously you know, they're just trying to show the reference of gold. But it once you know that it's not real gold, and that's not actually what it looks like, I think there is a real gap in the market for some real photos of stock photo gold.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just going to break to the side, unlike me getting off topic. Glenn Ham there. That is amazing. Pretty sure the top left one is the Gold Magazine's first issue back in the day. That's impressive that you managed to spot that.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Anyway, I totally agree. And somebody's jumped the gun on me about loading up the minis in the Italian Job. Every time, I actually really love that film. I think it's one of my all-time favourites. But every time they get to the scene where they're on the newer
Throwing 'em
Italian
around.
Job and they're sliding them into the back of the mini down this down the fabric slide sort of thing, and they're talking to the guy who's sitting at the airport carousel and he's doing this calculation. I'm thinking, there is no way that those bars of gold weigh the amount that you're talking about and they're valued at what you say they are at the end, because the size of them is humongous.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, yeah. I'll still love the film. But Ruben's right. If you, as impressive as 1 ounce of gold is when you actually know what gold is, it doesn't make a very impressive photo. Even a kilo bar, you know. I don't have my mobile here, but...
Or your kilo.
A kilo bar of gold.
I thought he was
is-
looking for the one in his pocket. Yeah.
A kilo bar of gold is about the size of your mobile phone, give or take a little bit. So, you know, like, even though that's $100,000 worth of gold, you plonk it down on a table. It's impressive when you know what it is, but it's not like it's not that impressive.
Doesn't really have the wow factor
Yeah.
of, yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of a bit. So I understand why they blow them out quite a bit.
I wonder if that's also partially due to the fact that unless you are someone, an organisation, the scale of, say, the Perth Mint, it's very difficult to get several $1 million worth of gold bars together to take what would constitute a stock photo. And if you were to do that, I wouldn't release it as a stock photo. I would retain the right to use that image for your own marketing purposes. You wouldn't just say, oh, well, yeah, we gathered up all these, you know, millions and millions of dollars worth of gold bars for a nice photo. Everyone have at it and you can use it. Although maybe Perth could be nice and do that for the community to, you know, right the wrongs of the past, and for the likes of Ruben, you know,
bit
just to
harsh.
straighten out the record of what, you know, millions of dollars of gold actually looks like.
But even the stock photos where people are paying for them and things like that in that kind of community, they're all those same photos of gold, those CGI ones or, you know, something like that. And it just, it baffles me.
But do you remember that video we did like ages ago of that 10 kilo gold coin?
Yes.
Yeah, like, I mean, that was impressive because it was a 10 kilo gold coin and, you know, you and I were oohing and ahhing over it and all that sort of stuff. But in and of itself, if you just took a photo of that and showed someone, they'd go, oh, yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah.
It
It's a
wouldn't
snake
be,
on a coin.
wow, you know, to be just, oh, yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, this is true.
Look, fair enough, but I suppose it's just it's there to serve just, you know, additional content or context to the article, to the whatever, and that's all it is. They are not providing any kind of, this is actually what the product looks like, this is actually what bullion comes in. It's just we're talking about gold, so there's gold. I saw someone mention before, and this is the other, it was AY as well. Grinds Gears is photos of Bitcoin as gold coins. Again, it's something tangible you can show for those articles all the time, and once you notice it, you won't be able to unnotice it.
One of the funniest, saddest things that you see in this industry is when somebody comes in all excited because they've saved their money up, they walked into the store and they lay down their cash and they say, I want an ounce bar of gold. And yeah, no worries. You put through the paperwork, you know, you print on the invoice, you go at the back. I'll just go and get it for you. Go at the back. You bring it out. They're all excited. You know, this is what I've been telling the wife I'm going to buy. No, it's going to be great and the whole lot. And you put down this piece of gold. It's about the size of a button on their shirt. And they kind of look at it. And they look at you. And they look at the bar.
And they look at their
look at
duffel
you.
bag.
Yes. And wheelie case they brought in. And it's like, really? It always makes me smile, but I always feel a little bit of pain as well for them, because it's like, how on earth am I going to explain to my wife that I've just spent $3,000 on that? Like, it's just...
Yeah. Can you roll it out and make it a bit...
Oh, dear. Such is life.
Yeah, it's good fun.
I had a couple more things on my list, but I'm kind of not sure if there are any we still want to hit at this point in the show. We're coming up to an hour and a half.
I can't remember what was on the list.
We're going to talk about the process of selling back to Bullion Now. We had a couple of people asking some specific questions about...
Yeah, it's too hard. Don't do it.
Jeez.
Michael, we're going to have to go off air soon. 'Cause
Yeah,
Michael's
getting in real Friday mode.
clearly in his
Starting to relax.
silly mode. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I've been almost a week now without sleep. Pretty much, I'm really firing on half a cylinder.
Well, I'll start then. You can see if you can catch on, and we'll continue on. But
Don't do it.
so it's something that I think it's important to highlight and discuss, because so often we talk about and consider the process of acquiring and accumulating bullion, and it's not every day that we give consideration to the process of selling back. So something that I highlight as a potential option for people acquiring bullion is the idea of dollar cost averaging your way into it, which is buying at regular intervals, a set amount. So for example, we'll say it's $100 a month that you decide that you're going to invest into bullion and accumulate over a number of months, years, whatever it may be. However, sometimes it's good to take a moment and consider what your plan of action is if and when you do decide to convert it back into currency, as it were. And that's something that obviously Bullion Now can facilitate, but I think it's a good idea to consider what that will actually look like in your unique example, because we've talked as well in the past about when we get interesting coins come through, unique designs. There are times when that can actually work against you, in the sense that, even like, for instance, a bar like this is really cool and interesting. And again, it's a little piece of Perth Mint history in a bar. And whilst this is a really cool and interesting bar, it's the kind of thing that if I had this in my stack, I might hesitate or have a little bit of difficulty parting ways with it, because I would look at that and think, it's not every day that I see a bar like that.
It's like tearing off a layer of skin, really.
100%. And, unfortunately, if you're anything like me, you may have a tendency to develop a bit of an emotional attachment to certain items in your stack. So it can be a good idea to, again, factor in your end game, whatever it is that you would ultimately like to achieve with your stack. If it's the type of thing where you've got a set dollar value in mind, where if spot reaches this point, I'd like to sell or offload X amount, whether it be a bulk chunk, your entire stack, or something that we were chatting about earlier, the idea of dollar cost averaging on the other at the end of things. So on the way in, you're buying incrementally and working out an average purchase price. So you're not necessarily completely at the mercy of market movements. Over the long term, you end up with an average price rather than trying to time the market and buy in at just the right time. It's something that I think is worth giving consideration to at the other end of the process, which is if and when you do decide to liquidate any portion of your stack, as incrementally doing that as opposed to just all in one hit. Although obviously circumstances are unique for everyone. You can find yourself between a rock and a hard place. And I've even found there have been a couple of times in my experience where it's been really helpful at a moment's notice, where I've needed to raise capital quickly, and I've been able to do that as a result of having the stack there. But yeah, that's my little rant for the moment.
Look, I agree with what you're saying. Not enough people plan their selling. They just kind of go, I got to sell. And it's just off they go to the races and get rid of it, sort of thing. So my big tip for selling, no matter who you're selling to, is to plan ahead and do it well before time. So it really breaks me when people come in and go, look, I don't want to sell today. The price is down, but I have to sell it because of, fill in the gap. And we all of us have those times. But if you can plan your selling so you can say, well, actually, gold took a hit last night. I'm just going to hold off, or I'm just going to sell a little bit.
Yep.
Just in case it goes more, like you were saying, goes down more. That way, if it doesn't go down more, I've only sold part of my stack. But if it does go down more, well, at least I've sold part of my stack.
Yep.
So there's that stage selling in. But it's getting ready and doing it earlier rather than later. And being forced into a corner and just having to take whatever you can as quickly as you can to get the money. That little bit of planning beforehand doesn't go astray.
Yeah. And overall, the sentiment that I'd like to proceed with is sell when I want to, not when I have to.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
that sense. So, yeah, just something interesting that I think is worth giving a bit of consideration to. And obviously, we regularly say this on this channel. Everyone has unique circumstances specific to them. So this is just general by its nature. It's not, you don't need to take that as, you know, the definitive rule on what to do with your stack. But it's just, something that I'd encourage you all to give a bit of consideration to, because there's nothing worse than doing something of that nature because you have to, when you haven't given it any thought in advance. It's much nicer, and obviously working in this industry, we see the full spectrum of people's experiences with selling, and it's always nice to deal with those people that come in. They have, they've been looking at the market and they've decided, all right, now's the time. I'd like to liquidate X amount, and they've got a bit of a plan, and off they go, and we can facilitate that, and everyone's happy. So, yeah.
Look, what often shocks people when they come into the store, when you talk to them, they'll say, I'm here to buy gold or silver, whatever it is, or they may not have even decided at that point, but usually they have. I've decided to purchase, what should I get? And quite often I say to them, well, what's your exit plan? Well, what do you mean? Well, you're not going to eat this. You're not going to wear it. So either yourself or somebody that you give it to is going to sell it at the end of the day. So what's your exit plan? When are you going to sell it? How are you going to sell it? And invariably, I've yet to really come across someone that's actually thought about, I'm buying it now, and this is what I'm going to do with it eventually, whether it be I'm buying it because I want to give it to the kids or the grandkids or whatever, or I'm buying it because in 10 years' time, I think I'm going to sell it, or I'm buying it because I want to hold it long term, and when I need to sell it, this is the way I'm going to exit it. Because all of that impacts on how you buy it, what you buy, when you buy, and how you pay for it, and how you store it. And I think everyone that either is buying gold or silver, it doesn't matter which precious metal we're talking about, but before you buy it, or if you already own it, you should already have in the back of your mind your exit plan. Even if you don't stick to that exit plan because, life changes as you move through to the future. But if you have no plan at all, that is where you're going to end up in the worst possible situation that you can.
Yeah.
Down to, you'll unload it to the wrong person. It almost brings me to tears when we talk about the number of people that we've had come in and they're shocked at the fact that they get spot for it because they sold some last week at 50% of spot. And it's like, there's people out there that are going to take advantage of you. Plan ahead. Know where you're going to sell it. Have an idea. Even if it doesn't work out that way in the end, at least have an idea of where you can sell it and how you're going to dispose of it at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. What's that expression? No one plans to fail. You can just fail to plan. Is that the expression?
Yeah.
I think it's something to that effect.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a depressing topic.
It is.
A little bit. But yeah, it's
Is that, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Drogue? That's why 90% of my stack is plain bars. I don't like separating with coins.
Yeah.
I can relate to that in a big way.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, you're talking to two guys who actually collect coins. So I say this carefully, but I honestly, I don't think a lot of people should buy coins.
Yeah.
Because when you buy coins, if your intention is to sell them back to a bullion dealer like Bullion Now, we're only going to pay spot or a percentage of spot. Now, we pay spot for most coins. There's a very few rare exceptions, but a lot of dealers don't even pay spot for it, and they don't care that it's in coin form. So you've paid all that extra money, because coins invariably are dearer than bars. So you've paid all that extra money. If your intention is just to sell it back to a bullion dealer, you're far better off. You're going to end up with more gold or silver in your pocket. Just buy the bar.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a love for that coin for whatever reason, and both Matt and I can attest to sentimental value.
And there's plenty
in a
of
coin.
reasons out there. Yeah.
But if your intent is just to buy it, hold it, and sell it back to a bullion dealer, invariably, and I'm shooting myself in the foot because we make more out of coins than we do bars, but invariably you should be buying bars, and the cheapest that you can get hold of.
Yep.
Having said that, I just bought a tray of 1 ounce dragons. There's always the exception.
I've said this so many times online and to other people in the real world as well, where people will come into the store and they'll say, Don't try and sucker me into anything else. I just want I just want the cheapest, nastiest thing you've got. I'm just, best bang for. Oh, I really like that coin. Wow, I'll get one of those, and I better get one each
John
for the
Wick
kids.
coins.
Yeah, that's right. I've got one each for the kids, and I better get a couple for the grandkids, and I better it's part of it. I'll get the other ones as well while I'm here. And before you know it, it's like they're buying one bar and 30 coins.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and that's the other thing. No matter what we say, even if this channel became a dedicated only buy bars channel, it won't change that reality.
That's right.
People like us still exist and love the coins. So it's all good fun.
Yeah. Question for Michael: is getting freshly minted sovereigns from the Royal Mint easy for BN? Are their prices still reasonable after GST and import costs?
Yeah, I think they're a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, they're easy to get. We can certainly get them in, but there's a lot of complications. Mainly to do with pricing. They're no more difficult for me to get in than, Britannia's or something like that. It's just that you're going to pay far more for them. And people say, well, I can buy the equivalent in a gold bar or a gold coin for far less than I'm having to pay for this coin because it incurs GST and all the other crap. So, yeah.
Do we stock ABC's tails?
We do. We don't make a big deal of it, but we do have them, yeah. We have locally produced ones, and we have ABC ones as well.
They've been quite popular at the moment, though, so I'm not actually sure if there are any up on the website at the moment. I think they're disappearing.
We got cleaned out yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
We took quite a large delivery of them, and they didn't last the afternoon. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's something we get, but something that has been disappearing rather quickly. So that may be why you haven't seen it up there.
Oh, John, I'd switch spots with you right now.
Well,
sitting at home having a glass of bourbon.
Speaking of, we're coming up to an hour 40, so I think we need to.
We were going to do 10 questions in 10 seconds, and we haven't done the auction yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's get going.
No, we better draw a line under it. We'll save the auction for next week. But we wanted to introduce a new section, and we have run out of time. But just to give you an idea, we're going to do. We can't do 10.
Why do you say 10? There's no way we'll do. It'll take me 10 seconds to ask some of the questions.
We want to do we find that particularly on Fridays, Matt Rubin and I, particularly Matt, wanders off.
It's unreal. I need to have a good hard look at myself.
We all wander off track a bit and we go all over the place and we don't get back to your questions. So we want to introduce a segment that's something like, rapid fire
within
questions.
The stream, yeah.
Yeah, within the stream. Why don't we do it now? We'll just do a minute.
Yeah,
see how many questions
demo.
you can put a timer up if you've got one handy quickly, and we'll try and do as many questions, quick fire questions as we can. Oh no, everyone's leaving, so it doesn't matter. Has anyone got any questions? Just start we'll rapid fire them into the chat, and we'll go as quick as we can.
Via email when the 3 months free storage is up. There we go. We're caught up. Is platinum worth buying?
Yes.
Yes.
No. We'll bring on the live stream. No.
Well, Brett, but you have to let me ask the question first, otherwise people don't know what you're responding to.
You got it. Yeah, Ruben's got to read the question.
Paul asked before I saw this one. Would we ever put GPS trackers in parcels?
Yes, it's under consideration right now.
How did Bullion Now get its name?
That's a long question. Ask me that next week.
Okay. Will there be a 2024 1 kilo Lunar Dragon, and do we know when?
Yes, there will be. We don't have a date yet. It'll be kind of April, May next year.
When are we opening up in Sydney?
Stand by for information on that one.
What gold do central banks buy?
Big bars, kilos, and 400-ounce bars.
Do you prefer 100 ounce or 1 kilo?
Kilo.
I guess design-wise, not for. I'd rather take a 100-ounce bar. Will we be restocking silver Valcambi bars? Yep. You mentioned a Spider-Man coin recently. What is the Spider-Man coin?
It's a coin that's got a Spider-Man motif on it. It's on my desk.
Do you have a prediction of silver at the end of the year?
No. I don't like predicting silver's price. It's too volatile.
When are we moving to Brisbane?
Don't know. I don't do heat well, so I'm going to have to send Matt up there.
Why are we consistently the best? Thanks, Desi.
I don't even know how to answer that question. Because of the staff we've got.
When's the next Gold Buffalo?
We did an unboxing on Gold Buffaloes today. You should see them on the website next week.
Do we know any details about Black Friday specials yet?
I know some. We're going to do it on Black Friday.
Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Neither.
Matt,
I didn't see either. I'll live under a rock.
I'm not watching Barbie just on principle. Keep going.
metal testers.
They're here.
And when are we going to see them?
Don't know.
The date of the next stackers meet.
December 3rd, 2023 at 2:30.
2024 pandas.
Probably won't touch them.
Favorite plane you've flown?
Satabria.
Is Matt a robot?
Sometimes.
Gold or silver?
Gold.
And 1 kilo coin stands.
Matt.
Are we going to get any?
Yeah, we should.
We should.
nice.
I don't think we have any.
Definitely not tofu.
Yeah, steak
I
as
think
well.
we need to start winding this up soon because the questions are still coming thick and fast.
Yeah, you've opened
Are
the
we-
floodgates here.
Tofu or steak? Do you have that
I
one?
think steak.
no,
is
steak.
unanimous, yeah.
Sorry, I'm carnivorous.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we coming to Darwin? Is Matt? Yeah, okay. I think
Yeah,
that's
Matt's a
right.
quokka.
All right. I think we call it quits there.
Yeah, that was good. That was a long 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Next week we'll have a timer on that
we'll
one.
throw a timer up. I think it'll go like a Family Feud kind of like the last.
Yeah.
I think that's how I kind of want it to go. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. A little bit of a silly, chaotic stream, but
Yeah, it's good.
thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, we should all be here next week, and we will see you then. Anything else you guys wanted to throw in?
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining.
See you next week.
So yeah.
See ya. There's only 79 likes for him. We're not even 100 likes. What's going on here? Should I even turn up next week? This is unreal.
Matt and Ruben are having a sook because I got more likes when I did the live stream by myself the other week.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to bring that up. That's really got me down. Go home. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend.
Please don't depress Matt. He'll be hitting the terps all weekend if we don't get some more likes.
See you, everyone.